All right, gang, what's happening? It is our dark night, and we back with another one, another nasty video for you guys. 7 guests who destroyed Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club. Now, it's some people you don't mind seeing get cursed out. Some people you don't mind getting karma, or somebody getting what they usually put out. Somebody getting a taste of their own medicine. So I feel like this is gonna be very satisfying. By the way, I hope you guys are doing fine. Hope you guys are staying warm. I know fall is coming in. I'm ready to check this video out. So I got the wires crossed all over my feet right here. All right, but without further ado, let's get to the video.
You can't do nothing, big man.
That they had to deal with? Absolutely.
Can't do nothing, big man.
Radio shows
She says your mother a donkey.
can be a massive stepping stone for artists and upcoming talent. On the other hand, they can be the deciding factor that destroys someone's career when the interview goes terribly wrong.
Right.
In the world of hip-hop, there's one platform that stands above the rest, the Breakfast Club. The show is
Has it been like the
hosted
flagship
big-name
for like
stars
black
and is
hip-hop
led by the
music?
one and only Charlamagne the
Well, I
God.
guess so.
Unfortunately for some of the guests on the show, Charlamagne has a bad reputation for trying to embarrass them or even put them in controversial conversations, aiming to damage their image and ultimately leaving them feel worse for being a part of the show. But every so often, there's a guest that shows up and flips the script on the
Right.
God. Today, we're going to take a look at 7 guests from the Breakfast Club that completely
This is gonna be a good
destroyed
one.
Charlamagne in the interview.
I don't know all the people
This
who
one's gonna
actually
be a
checked them.
bumpy ride. Beanie Siegel.
I
We're
remember
gonna
Benny
start the
Siegel when
list
he
with
was
the
on
heater
here.
of an altercation.
It's dangerous.
Beanie Siegel, whose real name is Dwight Grant, is an American rapper and
Yeah,
actor.
that's-
He was
well.
born on March 6, 1974 in Philadelphia,
see.
Pennsylvania. Beanie Siegel gained prominence in the late 1990s and early 2000s as a member of Rockefeller Records. Siegel is known for being a streetwise cat you don't want to mess with, and he certainly made this abundantly
gangster with
clear
the
to
white one, the
Charlamagne
whitest
God
names
during a
in
particular
the
encounter.
world.
Charlamagne broke the ice by asking Beanie Siegel about a rumor that was circulating the hip-hop scene at the time. People were claiming that Beanie Siegel only got to where he was because of Kanye West, and Charlamagne decided to push for answers.
Really?
Prior to the interview, Ye was at a dinner party in Philly eating with some friends, and a couple of thugs pulled chairs up to the table. They told Kanye to hand over his chain. When he didn't give it up, they just sat at the table and waited for him to leave. Kanye hit up Beanie, who showed up and let the men know
Right.
that nothing was going down. He put his neck on the line for Ye's. Unfortunately, loyalty to his friend became distorted, leading to unfounded rumors of ingratitude towards Kanye. When Charlamagne asked about the issue and then continued to talk over him, you could tell quickly where the interview was going.
I know you say I'm not qualified to speak on it. I'm just observing it, but it just seemed like, loyalty with you lies with who's providing you opportunity.
Frustrated by the host's incessant interruptions and
He
apparent
tried
lack of
it too.
understanding of the complexities of street culture, Beanie Siegel raised his voice in a passionate plea for recognition of his lived experiences and insights. He sternly warned Charlamagne against speaking on matters he had limited knowledge of,
Facts.
particularly when it came to navigating the intricate web of street dynamics.
You like,
So don't talk out your neck. Cause you know why? Because you not from that cloth.
This nigga's fingers in his mouth
That's why
at this
you don't
point.
understand that. Kanye know that.
well, I know I'm not qualified to speak on this, but you can understand how some people don't think what you're doing is all the way solid.
You might not think that, and you're not qualified, dog.
Just like with Fredro Starr, which we will get to.
I see what Benny Siegel mean. He's not qualified because Charlamagne, you're an emotional media talent. Like, you have no horse in the race. You have no opinion of these people you're interviewing, essentially. You're there to promote something, to get background information, essentially. You're not there to rile up. Because they even, like, you even kind of starting and instigating beef or undercover stuff at that point. Like, that's not your lane, bro. And I see what Benny Siegel mean. Like, Charlamagne is very emotional and antagonistic. And he's very adversarial to the people who he may not like or he may not like have a good relationship with. You can tell in a lot of his interviews, like, they come off hella cringy. So that's why this video also, like I said, is kind of satisfying.
Charlamagne was left speechless. Beanie Siegel emphasized the need to honor people's background and knowledge before driving into touchy subjects. It was a powerful moment, spotlighting the clash between mainstream media views and genuine street stories. But not everyone is as blunt and scary as...
I'm sorry, but to be fair, to contradict myself for a second, if I'm doing, I feel like I feel like these artists shouldn't go on certain platforms and air out past beefs and important and pivotal history in hip hop culture. Like they go on certain platforms. I'm not gonna say which platforms, but they go on platforms. They air out everything: who, what, when, why, and where, to the people who it don't really behoove the people who are given the information to tell the people who are given the interviews. And they just kind of, I don't know if they do it for money or to rebrand or reshape their careers, but I feel like it's kind of a disservice to the fans and even to themselves when they go on platform and just spill out like information. That's crazy to me why they do that.
The next guest on the show, to deflect Charlamagne's antagonizing questions, took a softer approach, and the repercussions reached a new level. Post Malone.
Post Malone was on here?
Post Malone, born Austin Richard Post, is an American rapper.
But they real names is crazy.
Blend of hip-hop,
Richard
rock,
Post.
And pop music. When Post was still getting his feet into the entertainment industry, he was invited to the Breakfast Club. The interview was an amazing opportunity for the 20-year-old Malone to get his name out there. But
Post
for
Malone
Charlamagne,
was
it was an
20 years
opportunity
old.
for him to try and discredit the young buck.
And this is his debut
Post
album.
Malone always look old
so
to
you know
me.
you've heard the mixtapes and everything.
Did you listen to it?
Absolutely not.
And that was where things backfired for him. The interview started off great, since Charlamagne and Malone were supporters of the Dallas Cowboys. But when the artist announced that his father also worked as a concession officer for the Cowboys, Charlamagne started laying into the rapper. First,
Why?
he started off by laughing at the job title, which made Post Malone feel like he had to defend his father's job. To ease the tension, Malone asked Charlamagne to go to a game and offered him free tickets to the Sweet Box, which was enough to quiet the radio host down for a bit. When Charlamagne saw that he couldn't get Malone frazzled through his father, he decided to take a different approach. Post had
Told
cornrows
you,
at the
bro.
time.
Antagonistic.
White people with cornrows look stupid. But how you a nappy-headed white boy?
I don't know, man. It's the Native American in me.
And Charlamagne was quick to bring up the conversation of what a culture vulture is. Malone wasn't trying to mock or claim the culture by his hairstyle, and simply replied he likes what he likes. He also tried to make Post Malone say the N-word, which the artist refused and said that Charlamagne was trying to get him in trouble. When these antics didn't work, Charlamagne started to attack Malone's girlfriend, who was also in the studio, by implying that the artist would cheat on her because of the fame.
Whenever you bring your girl and put her in the public eye, it's about 5 guys. She may have only slept with 5 guys in her life. All those 5 guys gonna post on YouTube and be like, I had that.
Post Malone made it clear that he wasn't the average man, so he wouldn't ruin their relationship for temporary fun. After the interview, the fans were in a frenzy, and it soon became a popular topic. Many people began to lean towards Post because of how he handled the situation, which just made Charlamagne seem like a troll. Larry Elder.
He kind of have to though
Not
in
all
that
guests on
fashion,
the
in
show
that
come
manner.
From the world of hip hop, Larry Elder was a presidential candidate when he accepted an invitation to share his plan for America on The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne assumed he was talking to a random person and really tried to get the best of him. When Larry Elder shared his plan to amplify the voices of black people and help improve the community, Charlamagne started riddling him with questions and really tried to make him look stupid. He also had his co-host and another guest teaming up with him, so this quickly became a 3 versus 1 debate.
We're still living below the poverty line. You're picking and choosing, saying this was good, but this was bad.
Okay.
The bottom line, they end between the poverty line. But let's move forward.
Well, can I just address that? In 1940, 87% of blacks lived under the poverty line. 1960, that number had fallen to 47%. That's a 40-point drop in 20 years. That's the greatest 20-year period of economic expansion for black people in the history of America. Again, well before Brown versus Board of Education, well before the KKK imploded, well before we had race-based preferences. Why? Because it was rare for a black kid to be raised in a family without a father in the home.
Of course, Larry Elder had a response for everything, which just fueled Charlamagne to keep badgering him. Charlamagne then brought up a conversation
Asking why
about
is the most
systemic
important
racism,
part. I hear what
and
he's
Larry
saying,
was
but it's
quick
the
to tell
why.
him
The
that he
why
didn't
is more
believe it still
vast.
existed. This was
Like,
the icing on the cake.
The why is way more vast. It's like that's an oversimplification. If you ask people why now, a lot of black people are agreeing that racism don't exist because of kind of what he just said. It's almost a matter of you're in the position you are in because of you, or because your history or your ancestral background wasn't adequate enough financially, or at a certain intelligent level, or they didn't own or they didn't go to school. But you got to ask yourself why, and it makes them it kind of makes them complicit in that narrative and that ideology that black people are in the position they are because of themselves. Like, racism didn't exist, and it's not an excuse, it's a reason to why they're in certain situations. And it pisses me off. It makes me so mad when people go in there, and I'm not going to name who, but we have even powerful media personalities and rappers and entertainers who actually, they spew this rhetoric. Even as far as, I forget his name, but they do this, and they have people who are listening to them. They have this platform, and they say this, and it's very idiotic to sit here and say the stuff. Like, I get what Larry Elder is saying, but it's a deeper why, dude.
They were not going to stump Larry. Charlamagne was in over his head and had to resort to his computer.
That's once again because Charlamagne, he's an emotional. He doesn't do research. Like, if you knew your history, if you knew your research, if you knew dates, like proper dates, and you wasn't just saying those dates in the interview, then y'all could have had a better understanding, a better conversation about the advancement of black people or the history of how we can make it better, versus trying to compete. Like I said, he's very emotional. He's adversarial. And you can tell that he got a real antagonistic, like, he likes to kind of probe.
Team supply him.
Do you think members of your party are leaning toward fascism?
Fascism.
Define fascism.
Authoritarianism.
Define fascism.
I mean, the rejection of democracy, the rule of law, equal rights, and
in
favor of a strong man, Donald Trump, who interprets the popular will.
The back and forth goes on, and actually becomes comical at how bad the Breakfast Club team handled this one. Charlamagne proved to the world that he didn't have a versatile knowledge on politics and world topics, and revealed
what I just said. He didn't do his he didn't know.
Elders' depth of knowledge on critical issues.
Of course, he was going to get ate up. When you don't do your research, the person you're debating can be wrong, but because you didn't do your research or you don't know history, you would get ate up. It's like you don't know what you're talking about. You could be right.
Controversial antics. He made a comment about Mercedes' appearance on the cover of the album.
The context of what Charlamagne was coming from was right, but he didn't do his research, and he didn't have adequate knowledge to back it up, if you will. And Larry Elder giving the answers, giving the precise dates and answers, and his veracity, he was vehemently ready to kind of go at Charlamagne or rebuttal. Like, you could tell Charlamagne, he brought a knife to a gunfight,
Rear end, which had her bent over the hood of a classic car. Charlamagne said that everyone was releasing music around that time except Mercedes, but also threw in a quick, "She has a fat ass though," which was a terrible comment to make because he was sexualizing her live on air. Master P had to put him in his place.
Right, bro. What are you talking about, gang?
Disrespect his girl like that. Charlamagne had no right to talk about her body in that manner, especially on a live broadcast. As always, Charlamagne was dumbfounded after being called out like that, and he remained humble for the rest of the show. Charlamagne's comment not only was inappropriate, it also highlighted a larger issue in the hip-hop industry, the demeaning of women and objectifying them.
See that she had a fat ass. Yeah, see that, bro. Hold up, man. Don't talk about Mercedes. Oh, like that. Now, let's go back to this, dog. Let's respect, because I'm not gonna talk about your sister, your mama.
So presumptuous.
So we need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing, because I know you do your radio thing, and I respect that, but at the same time, Mercedes is
right,
she
bro.
a female.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, you're right. But she did look good on that cover, though.
Yeah, she look good. That's your opinion. But you know,
Master P was right to call out.
He tried to double down. She looked good though.
More to step up and create respect in the culture. Fredro Starr. When Charlamagne isn't making sexist jokes or trying to racially attack
look at that look
guests,
on his face.
He also talks about the sexual escapades revolving his guests, and not all of them come back at Charlamagne in a calm manner.
Don't play me like that.
Fredro Starr, whose real name is Fred Lee Scruggs Jr., is an American rapper and actor best
Scruggs
known for his role as a member of the hardcore hip-hop group Onyx. During an interview with the rapper, Charlamagne brought up the topic of Fredro hooking up with Brandy, which set him off. Fredro then retaliated by reminding Charlamagne of how he was punched in the back of the head by 50 Cent. The back and forth continued and things got heated. Fast.
I know it do
Without
remind me
any
of
warning, Fredro Starr began
Fredro
to
Starr.
violently press Charlamagne, quickly let
He doesn't look like Fredro Starr, but his movements, his idiosyncrasies are just like Fredro Starr's. Like the mouth, the way he rolled the mouth up, everything.
No, he didn't want any smoke. Instantly, Charlamagne went quiet.
Why they keep showing
he was scared of
Book
what
King
could come
Woodbine?
next. As the other host of the show tried to move past.
Oh no, that's
the
damn! I didn't even know it was Fredro Starr. He's young, he got with the hair and all that.
This your radio station.
Cause you know why?
This your
I know it was an
You got
ambush.
ran off your own
I don't know
block.
what them guys had planned, so I had to get out the way.
You got ran off your own block, man. It's all good, though.
It happens. It happens to the
The
best.
big man playing a guard. My name is Fredro Starr. Do your
Do you think I said
Do you Googles?
This one could have turned even worse if the radio host wasn't so quick to back
Why
down.
they showing that movie with Fredro Starr?
Monique.
He was scared too. You know that fake smile people put on when they scared. Stop talking to certain people crazy, bro. Like you never know who would check you. It can be the meekest, weakest person ever. They'll check you, make you look crazy, make you look stupid. I've seen it before. You have that dry mouth, yeah, bro, that fight or flight kick in on your ass.
Monique revealed that Netflix offered her $500,000 for a comedy special, and she refused because other comedians like Amy Schumer
And Amy
Dave
Schumer, I'm
Chappelle
sorry, it's
was
not even
offered
funny.
$20 million to organize a massive boycott.
One of them people try to be very, very extreme to circumvent being funny. Well, she doesn't circumvent being funny. She's just not funny. But to circumvent trying to be funny, she want to go to the extreme. Like it was one movie Amy Schumer made I like, the one with LeBron. I forget the name of it.
Netflix, which completely
Think Trainwreck?
backfired. Charlamagne
Something
then
like that.
decided to name Monique Donkey of the Day on the Breakfast Club show because he didn't think she was as good as the other comedians. At this time, Monique was fighting for the equality of black females
Well, nigga reminds me
in
of
the
my
industry.
mom.
She was definitely lowballed and very hurt by both Netflix and the Breakfast Club for all the negative attention.
And then you give me a title of Donkey of the Day. Is your mother still alive?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're from what city in South Carolina?
Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
Moncks Corner. And if I was to call your mother...
See, bro, Charlamagne's a disrespectful man, bro. That's why he get checked. I tell people, do not put yourself in a position where you're going to get checked or where you have to apologize because people become people's slaves. Like, presumably, like when you have to always, somebody got to check you or correct you or make you apologize, you forever become their slaves. And Charlamagne, like he does this consistently, bro. Like you're a disrespectful man, and bad stuff happen to niggas like that, bro. It's people you know in your daily life right now that got big mouth, that star stuff, and you go out, but they're the ones who don't fight. That's a situation like recently, like you know some people got like big mouths, and you want them to be quiet because at the end of the day, like bro, when it comes down with the get down, you're gonna be the one who runs. So why are you the one who's starting it? I hate people who do that, bro. You ever got that friend or anybody who when y'all go out, they're the ones who are rowdy, disrespectful, talking to people, talking to strangers, being disrespectful. But when it comes down to it, they're not the ones throwing punches. They're not the ones body slamming people. They're not the ones picking up bottles and shells. They're not doing it. They're the ones who are running. Hey, bro, hey, or calling police. I've seen it. It hit different.
Mother, could they tell me stories of inequality that they had to deal with?
Absolutely.
So would your mother be a donkey?
No.
Would your grandmother be?
Charlamagne's derogatory remarks towards Monique, including featuring her as the donkey of the day, was a cheap.
And Charlamagne always seemed like
Behind the
scary
scenes,
to
they
me.
tried to explain why Monique didn't.
Like I don't know him as a man. He probably, I don't know if he is or not, but he just seemed like.
Where Monique eloquently addressed the discrimination she faced. Charlamagne offered a somewhat reluctant apology. Charlamagne's attempt at reconciliation with Monique was met with continued pressure from her loyal fans and supportive family members.
Doesn't matter what the conversation consisted consisted of, just know, as I just said, Monique sued them and they settled. So there clearly was some validity to this.
So why would he's going at Monique if she was going at Netflix?
And she's right when she speaks on the power of the microphone, because people from Netflix were definitely reaching out.
As we make our way through the list of angry guests,
Is he the bodyguard or something? Netflix?
You would think
I don't know that whole thing with Monique and Charlamagne. If you do, put it in the comments.
Vivek. Our last interview goes to the one and only Vivek. Vivek is a prominent feature associated with HTC Vive, a leading brand in virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality technologies. When Vivek was invited to the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne tried to play a victim card. We can't deny that racism exists in America, and black people are denied opportunities and access based on their skin color in the 21st century. However, Charlamagne is always creating these parallels about race that make the fight of black people for centuries seem like a joke. After drawing one of those parallels in this interview, Vivek had to give Charlamagne a lesson in American history so he doesn't repeat the same mistakes.
That because he don't know history.
He was an abolitionist in his own time. He was the second president of the United States. He did not own slaves on principle. Not only that, he actually fought for the
said, look, you got see
it's
that rubbing his eye. His eyes not itching. That's a pacifying behavior. That's when the brain tells the body, okay, you're nervous, you're embarrassed, so I'm gonna do something to show what's in my brain. I'm gonna show it on my body, and you can tell people's body language. When they don't like somebody, and me, I'm bad at body language. It's hard for me to fake. Like if I'm mad, if I'm pissed off, you're gonna tell. If I'm frustrated, you're gonna know. I don't know if that's always good or bad, but it's just a fact.
It's that Charlamagne likes to get under
I'm trying to work on myself, y'all. I'm trying, baby. I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying.
The privacy or interests of his guests.
That's an ambivert in me.
Antics, the show continues to get high ratings, and that could easily explain his behavior. At this rate, Charlamagne may interview the wrong.
Charlamagne don't win no debates.
He can handle. Do you think a lot of this is staged for higher rating? Let us know in the comments how you feel about Charlamagne.
How is it staged? Somebody who's losing and getting cooked.
Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and the latest news, gossip, and information.
There's 9 guess who checked. So there's another list. So this one was 7. So there's 16 niggas who checked them. All right, so that was, like I said, that was satisfying. My first time. I didn't know the people. I didn't know who Vivek was. I didn't know. I knew about the Larry Elder interview, but I didn't watch it. I knew about the Fredro Starr. That was kind of popular. I knew about the Benny Siegel one. That was popular. I knew about the Master P one. Like I said, man, be respectful. Always be respectful. Treat people how you want to be treated out here, because you never know. Not because of consequence with the other person, but just because. One, it's the right thing to do. Like I said, you want to treat people how you want to be treated, and you want to have the gods. You want to have stuff in your favor. You know, you just want to be in favor. You know, with the universe. You want to be in favor with yourself. Like I said, you want people coming at you a certain way. So it's just about respecting other people. But that was a good video. I liked that one. If you guys like to see this content more, you like to see I Dark Knight more, please post in the comments, like the channel, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me at IG, I Dark Knight 11. All right. You guys spread peace, positivity, continue to collect stones. I can't talk. Positivity, continue to collect stones. All right. We out. See you on the next one.